Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch the Twilight Zone Season 2 episode 28. You know it now that I watch and I react to some episodes of the Twilight Zone. I'm not gonna watch all of the episodes of the Twilight Zone of all of the seasons. I'm just watching a few episodes that I selected on IMDb. I took the 51st episodes, you know, for how well they were rated. I selectioned them like that and I'm picking, you know, sometimes a few episodes to react to them for this channel. I can't know when in advance and some of that, and that's why the last time that you had, guys, episodes of the Twilight Zone, I think that it was months ago now, something like that. It's really when I have a gap on my schedule, when I don't have, you know, shows to react to. I'm between shows more, something like that. Right now it's the case because I'm gonna finish soon, for me right now, I'm gonna finish soon The Walking Dead and Andor. And before His Dark Materials, I have really only 2 weeks, so 3 gaps, you know, like that on my schedule. So I can't begin a new show, a new anime, I can't begin something new just for 3 videos. So I was like, okay, maybe it's the time to come back to the Twilight Zone to react to 3 new episodes. So I selected 3 episodes into the season 2. I already reacted to some episodes of the season 1 and some of the season 5, I think, something like that. And you guys, you're not a lot to watch these videos, but all of the ones who are watching them or who are discovering them, more something like that, like, you know, really with time I have sometimes a new comment on these videos, and each time you're just glad, you know, that you found a reactor who decided to react to these shows, to these episodes, I mean, and I'm satisfied by that, you know, like, you know, that the views, okay, they're nice, you know, to have them on YouTube, but I can have them for other shows and animes that I love. And this show, really, I love it so much for how it's written, for the fact that this show was thought, you know, written, imagined so long ago, all of these stories, and they are still so accurate with our society right now, and the subjects that they are exploring each time are so interesting, and I'm really seeing the subject because each time they are putting a lot of things into it, and again you can learn things from these little stories. It's not like, okay, there is that little lesson of life at the end of each episode, but it's more like into your real life after that. When you're gonna experience stuff, you're gonna be like, it reminds me that episode, you know, they did it like that, you know, it's gonna ring a bell. And I think that it's so great when a show can do that, when a story can do that, and the fact that this show, all of these stories, they can do that, I think that it's really amazing. And again, it was so modern to think about all of that, not only because they are exploring, you know, technological things or weird things, you know, that for sure we can think about also right now, but it's really, yes, the subjects that they are exploring, like during the last episode that I watched today, the episode 29 of the season 2, the fact that we had that story about that librarian, ooh, I have trouble to say it, was obsolete because books are obsolete, into a dictature where you are supposed to think like everyone, to be into the norm, you know, to be considered normal, and people who are not normal, they are eliminated, and to not fit with that, it's being eliminated, and you have to consider everyone as a crowd and not as individuals. And the fact that yes, people who are not fitting, that's not okay and stuff like that. Like, it was interesting, you know, to think about all of these subjects and to explore it through that dictature. Again, Black Mirror, the show Black Mirror can do the same episode, really the same situation, the same lines, the same things right now. It's gonna work perfectly. No one is gonna think that it's coming from a show, you know, from an episode which was written in fact in 1961. It's gonna work no matter what, and that's so cool. That's also so cool. Right now I'm gonna watch a new episode. Like always, I only know the title and when it was out. It was out also in 1961, and the title, it's Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? Which is making me think that we're gonna have a situation with a Martian, or at least people who are suspecting each other to be Martian, or something like that. That can be fun. That's a total other subject, you know, context than the episode that I just watched, and it's cool. It's so cool, but I'm sure that they're gonna explore things through that, and it's also really cool. Okay, I'm gonna watch this episode. I think that I didn't tell it during the other intro, that you have my Patreon if you want to have really the extended reaction part of this episode, and I'm really seeing the extended reaction part like they're gonna be more interesting than what you're gonna watch on YouTube, because for YouTube I saw that with the previous episode of the Twilight done, I'm forced to cut each 5 seconds and sometimes to play with opacity. Like, it's truly not what I want to do on my channel. So on Patreon I'm putting each time really the scene as it was supposed to be done. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I don't care about how long I'm putting each time for a scene, for a reaction and stuff like that. So if you can be interested to have this extended reaction part, to support me also, to support that project of the Twilight Zone, maybe you have my Patreon for that. Let's go for this episode. Each time. E.T. téléphone, maison, phones, home.
Checking out a report on an unidentified flying object. Appears something cut off the tops of some trees. Came down on the ice of Tracy's Pond.
Oh, you have.
Well, there are footprints up there.
Huh?
There's some talk of a bridge going out up there. When you can, you better take a look and make sure she's posted and blocked off.
No question about it. Something left that pond. Went over to the diner.
Looks like a bus in front of that diner.
Which means that a lot of people are gonna be there.
Very funny.
It's only one person
February 9th,
which went out?
Then the checkout you just witnessed with 2 state troopers verifying the event. You heard of trying to find a needle in a haystack? Well, stay with us now and you'll be part of an investigating team. No, their task is even harder. They've got to find a Martian in a diner.
Usually, into stories like that, there is no Martian, or they all are Martians. That's my guess for now.
Bridge up ahead has been declared temporarily impassable. Ice flow stacked up against it.
You're trapped.
Good morning, anyway.
Good morning. I've got to be in Boston at 9 a.m. Get comfortable and get a little hot food in you. That's precious little consolation for missing my meeting in Boston.
You should have taken your car.
I wouldn't be too hard on them, mister. They have no control over the snow, bridges, the sides of hills that decide to come down. What do you think?
Which one of them?
We're all on the bus, weren't they? You got a passenger manifest? What do you think I got parked out there? A 707? Mister, that's a 14-year-old bus and business is lousy. I don't ask passengers their names. We kiss them gently and help them in.
You know how many you have?
But you can recognize all of them. Yes.
6. Unless one of them fell out the window when we hit a bump. 7 here now.
And we didn't see the face of one. I'm not gonna suspect this one. Him.
I know, I had 6 people.
Was there anybody in here before the bus stopped? No, I haven't served anybody since 11 o'clock this morning.
One of them didn't get off the bus.
You were all into that bus. You should know.
What kind of interrogation?
Only 7 people, you saw them. Come on.
I don't remember seeing you on the bus.
Yeah, it's quite funny, because
I don't remember seeing you either. What difference does it make who was on the bus and who wasn't, or whether there were 6 or 7 or 120?
You hear anything flying over here tonight?
Or maybe it's him, you know, he was there before them.
Fly over here? From where?
From up there.
Identified flying object. Nothing's come down from up there except snow.
On tracks leading away from it.
For that, yes.
To here. That means that one person here.
And it's not because you're in couple, you know, that we're not gonna suspect you.
Well, that's just not possible. We'd have seen them.
Not necessarily. Snowing and dark.
You were all on the bus together. You would have known who the other passengers were. Tell you the truth, I don't know who belonged.
How can you not know? 6 people, it's not that hard. You know, at least one knows one and stuff like that.
I know how you begin. You pair off the couples.
We're two of the new ones.
Us two, my wife and I. We're in the clear.
I could have sworn you had a mole on your chin.
We're all going to get so panicky that everyone and his brother will start picking up invisible clues from everybody else.
Well, of course it's nonsense if a husband and wife suddenly start wondering whether the husband is really the husband.
I think 23 years is long enough for a woman to know who she's married to. I love this. You don't know who he is. You don't know who she is. And this lemon sucker here, he's the most suspicious of the bunch. Check him for wings. Check him for wings. Look under their coat.
You're crazy.
Who won the World Series race last year?
What is this? A sort of prolonged practical joke?
I get it. Pittsburgh Pirates won it to 4 out of 7 Yankees.
You're gonna ask them stuff about us?
Shark boys.
What's your name?
Ethel McConnell, I'm a professional dancer.
How many things?
I'm gonna belt you, Grandpa.
She was on the bus.
You remember us suddenly?
She's the only one I noticed.
Well, thank you.
See, if one noticed, one.
And how do you explain the extra person in here?
Yes, how about that?
The driver was mistaken. 7 people got on the bus and he thought there were only 6.
It's possible.
Miss.
What now?
What goes there?
The lights, the music. It's knowing a lot. It can be, you know, something which form, you know, snow.
That wasn't your gang, was it? Having a business about the jukebox starting like that?
Not me. A jukebox is a jukebox, and if that thing wants to start up all on its own, you'll check with an electrical engineer.
I think so.
Take me to your meter. Take me to your meter.
Why are you repeating twice each thing?
You may be a big shot in Boston, but when it comes to bridges and buses, I got seniority. Bridges so old that any...
And now you're talking with the woman, the driver.
Why did the lights go out like that?
We may be losing power.
Yes, also.
This is weird. We're all kids in a closet here. Nobody understands what's going on.
I'm not even sure that at the end they're gonna give us the answer.
Maybe they're just playing around. Cat and mouse.
That is childish nonsense.
You look like Dracula.
It's tough enough just sitting here without...
Ah, that's more interesting. You know, you can't put it into an electricity issue. One of your colleagues.
Yeah. What's that? It's okay.
The bridge?
Bridge is okay.
Are you gonna let them
Now
leave?
time.
Can't hold him. You're making a big mistake, officer. Big mistake. Can't hold somebody on suspicion of being a monster.
Mm.
You can roll him anytime.
Are they sure about that bridge? I don't like that sucker.
That was the county engineer. The bridge has been checked out and declared passable.
All right, you can pay your checks right over here, ladies and gentlemen. Godspeed and safe trip. And you had, what, 14 cups of coffee. There was $1.40.
That's all? Oh, clearly.
Well, I counted 7.
That's right, 7.
Bet you by the time we hit the boss, maybe 17.
Coffee. police car, a bus, everything.
And you didn't die?
A terrible scene, no one got out. Except you. Lucky, I guess, huh?
Very lucky. You're not even wet.
Wet. What's wet?
What's wet?
Illusion, that's all. Just an illusion. Like that jukebox playing in the corner. Or that telephone ringing.
It was not the engineer.
What are you, some kind of magician?
Who, me? Oh, hardly. I'd have to explain that the name isn't really Ross. I wasn't really going Boston.
Uh-huh.
No, I was sent as a kind of advanced scout like this on Mars. That's incidentally where I'd come from. We're beginning to colonize. I think they're going to like it here. It's a lovely area, just the perfect spot for a colony, don't you think, Mr. Haley?
You see, Mr. Ross, my name isn't Haley.
You're one of them? Another
People
kind of
like
Martian?
had the same idea. We got it several years ago. Your frames are not counting. They've been intercepted. Our colony is come, but it's from Venus. And if you're still alive, I think you'll see how we differ. And I agree with you about what they call music. Why don't you play some?
Martian against someone coming from Venus?
If either of these two entities walk onto your premises, you better hold their hands, all three of them.
Yes, it's funny, it's three.
Pull you into the Twilight Zone.
Ugh. That surprise was cool at the end. I mean, the two surprises, the two big reveals about the fact that this one was a Martian because of these three ants, and after that to discover that he wants to colonize our planet Earth, but in fact that scout from Venus was already right there, and yes, people are coming to colonize Earth, but it's gonna be Venus people. You know, these two big reveals, they were cool. They were very surprising. I didn't expect it. I said it at the beginning of this episode, like with stories like that, usually I have two theories. None of them is a Martian, or all of them are the Martians. At some point, I think that I said it out loud, that I suspected the one, you know, who had the diner, but after that, you know, the fact that they all insisted so much on the fact that only 6 of them inside of that bus, one was not there, so I was like, okay, maybe it's really one of them, and I couldn't guess who it was, truly. I'm wondering now if during the episode, in fact, they put some clues about that. Like, I remember that when the things exploded, you know, with sugar, I noticed that that guy, Ross, he had his hand on his thing, you know, of sugar. So I noticed it, but I didn't say it out loud, and I didn't pay attention that much about it. But now that I think about it, maybe during that moment, we had 3 ants. I think that I'm gonna see that during the editing, you know, if they already put clues before that big reveal at the end. It would be fun to discover that during the editing. So normally, yes, I'm considering these two theories, and 70% of the time, no, 80% of the time I have the right answer. No, right there someone was really a Martian. All of these different characters, they were cool, you know, because, I mean, they were cool. To explore that idea of who is the person who is not supposed to be there, like that one who acts like he's crazy. Is he a Martian because he's crazy? You know, it's a little the same like during the last episode, that question of fitting or not with the group, being normal or not. So that was an interesting stuff. After that, you know, that thing about the fact that electricity issues, like that thing with the lights, that thing with the music, they all want like, oh, that's it, something is wrong. Like, clearly, you are up in the mountains, it's snowing a lot, you never had snow or, you know, things things falling into, I don't know how to say it, the câble électrique. And because of that, electricity was not passing or had issues to pass, like truly. I'm coming from the countryside, from a little village with only 300 people, so I know that kind of issues with electricity when you are spending entire days without electricity just because of something which fall into them, on them I mean, so that thing, it's not scary, at least for me, you know, to have that thing with the lights, that thing with the music. When that thing of sugar exploded, that's it, I was like, okay, something is wrong. I didn't see it coming, you know, that phone call, that it was not real. After that, you know, the fact that they all left, that they all died, that's not good at all. I'm wondering, 61? You know, to have a story like that about people from Mars, people from Venus, which would come to colonize Earth. I mean, we had a period of time around these years, I think, with a lot of movies and a lot of stuff around the fact that we could have people coming from other planets to colonize Earth. That fear, you know, that some people had. But I'm wondering also about the when did we discover that no, like we had no life on Mars, no life on Venus, it was not possible. But that was a real fear, yes, during a certain period of time. After that, you know, that fear evolved a lot, like, no, maybe they're gonna come, but not from these planets that we know, because we discovered that we can't have life, we don't have life on them, but, you know, it took a lot of time to discover that for real. And when we imagine that things like that can happen, now, in our days, we are imagining that they're not gonna have a human form, or maybe they're gonna have one, but it's gonna be something that they're gonna copy on us, so they're not gonna have 3 hands, 3 eyes, something like that. We didn't explore really a particular thing during this episode. Like, you know, during the last episode I said it a lot. The last episode that I watched, I mean, the episode 29 of the season 2. We explored a lot of different subjects, and I said it, all of that story, we could have applied it right now into our society, in our television, it would have worked without any doubt. Right there, you're taking the same. I'm not sure that it's working as well. For all of the story, yes, but for the end of it, no. Because of that thing about Venus and Mars, people are not so afraid about really Martians coming to colonize Earth. It's not gonna frighten us anymore, and it would be okay for really people coming from other, further planets, something like that. And these tricks, yes, playing with electricity and all, I'm not sure that people would be scared of it. Also, like, I don't think that I'm that brave to not be afraid of it. I think that now we're just used to that. We are just used also to think about what could have caused it, and to go on the logical side, logical reason really quick. Okay, that was a cool episode. It made me less think of stuff, you know, than during the last one, but it was cool because, yes, you know, the fact that they were all into that place and all searching for who is it and stuff like that, it's always something funny to follow, so that was cool, no matter what. I'm gonna watch one more episode of the Twilight Zone today. For you, it's gonna be on another day, on another video, so it's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.